Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Do you get a shirt down now?
Yes. And my hairstyle is
I was trying to go with something that was true, but I don't know. Do you style your hair a lot?
myself every day. I spend about 30 minutes to have this every day.
Beautiful. Well,
Okay.
let's start with this. So everybody that's coming in.
Yes.
In not formal and very informal way. Welcome to Connecting Humans Live. Everybody's with us right now. Cheers, and cheers for everybody who's joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you for joining us.
Very nice. That's good.
And as this is pure raw conversations, then we happen to have the pleasure of having one lady with us today.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
Why don't you just start saying hello to the audience and just who on earth did we just invite to the table?
Jessika.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the cue.
My pleasure. I hope the audience doesn't hear my voice 2 times as I am hearing my voice. But I'm Jessika Klingspor. I'm Swedish entrepreneur living in Barcelona since 2001. I moved down to the city because I simply fell in love with the city. And
Pull it off.
Bring it out, bring it out, bring it out.
there is simply very bad connection here.
Okay.
I'm sorry for it.
Have another sip of wine and it will help.
Madrid, you know?
Have another glass of wine and it will be okay.
No, it's like we have to fix it because I can't talk. I'm interrupting myself all the time. I'm very sorry.
Okay,
okay.
Do you want to continue?
Because I simply have to take away. If everybody takes away the sound, maybe I can speak.
Oh yeah, you need to device it. Please, gentlemen. Ooh. Okay, we are fixing Jessica's tech issue there in the back. Pascal, why don't you introduce yourself and I will get to help Jessica right now.
Yeah, okay. Go into the backstage, Erik. That's well, that happens when we do a live with no script and no nothing. Huh? So yeah, welcome also, guys. Alexandre, old friend, nice haircut. Ruedi and Matthieu, salut. Nice that you're here and that we have some conversation. Yeah, I don't want to talk a lot about me because the people that know me, I talk a lot. So I will make it short, like I am myself. So I will leave it up to the senior guys. So Ruedi, Alexandre, can you share something about yourself?
Well,
Sure.
Ruedi, go ahead.
Yeah, age before beauty, right, Alexandre?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, first I have a question to Pascal. You mentioned in the before that you change your shirt 7 times. What, a day, a week, a month?
Well, that is the view of Erik, that I change my shirt 7 times. I think it's in a month, maybe.
Okay.
In COVID times, it's 7 times in the COVID period, maybe.
Okay,
You never
great.
know.
Something I will not say here, and Ruedi is agreeing with me.
Say
We need something different.
Well,
Okay. No,
the
I
times
would
we
like to
had
introduce
with
myself very
Alexandre-
quick. Ruedi Bachmann. I'm Swiss, with German accent in English. I'm sorry for that, but living in Spain, and that's why I have a fantastic Spanish red wine as well. And hopefully the connection from Madrid is better than the one from Barcelona. That might be the difference a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a consultant since more than 12 years. I'm associated with an American company, and I work a lot as well with Alexandre and Pascal. Before that, I have been 20 years in airline catering business. That's a little bit my background. I'm looking forward for a nice dinner tonight.
Yes, fantastic. And
Great.
I'm Alex, right? I mean, for the one who have been here several times, you know me. I am a teacher in hotel school, but I have also a company on my side where I help people. And with Pascal and Ruedi, we are doing things as well for young people. And everything I like is about the mind. I'm the mind guy, basically, right? And I brought a friend tonight with us, and it's Matthieu Mioche. I would like Matthieu to introduce himself.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is, well, Matthieu. I'm French. I live in France, so I'm not disconnected at all. However, obviously, we used to work together with Alexandre in a hotel management school in Switzerland. I guess we can say the name, Les Roches. I mean, like, I think, it's important, considering the reputation. And yeah, all my life, spent many years, obviously, and all my life in hospitality, operation, tourism, lived in different countries and so on. And for the past 2 years, since I left Les Roches, I'm finally back, where I belong. I'm in my garden here, beautiful. And yeah, really happy, to have, this great moment of exchange with you guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Great. Thanks that you're here. And I just realized how much I miss the French language when I hear your accent. Oh, yes. But I live near the French border when I'm not in the Netherlands. So, yeah, and I grew up with the French language. So, yeah, we're here actually to have a nice dinner conversation. And you all know that thing when you lose yourself, when you forget about time, when you lose yourself into a good conversation, when it is about, you can go from A to Z to whatever. And right now we had the feeling, the last experiences that we had with Alexandre, with Nazli, which was still at the table 2 weeks ago, and with Erik, of course, we had the feeling that we lose a little bit the connection. We all look all the time in the screens and everything, and it's only about to be focused on one thing, and we lose a little bit the possibilities of explore a good conversation, to go from that to here and there. And this was more or less the initiative where we said, okay, let's have a drink, let's have something. People are looking TV, at least they can also join the conversation. So that means also for you guys out there with the comments, you can quickly say, hey, I see Asha is there. Hey, Asha, just had a meeting with her in Amsterdam, but also other people. So if you want to join and add something, put it into the chat. We can, if you want to add something to the conversation, or if you want to be live on the screen, just share it also in the chat, and we can bring you live into the TV studio. So it's no problem. That's something that we learned. Kai Raphael is there. Hey, yeah, this is not your podcast. This is then I say that's then in English. So yeah, how you doing? actually, Ruedi, how is it in Madrid? How are you doing with all the stuff happening right now?
Well, Madrid is a hotspot, definitely, and I think tomorrow they will come up with some more measures to take against COVID-19. And of course, I used to travel a lot because I usually went to see my clients all over the world. I just came back from Mexico before the lockdown in Madrid. I had clients in Saudi Arabia, China, and that's the first time in my professional life that I'm home since March. My wife is a little bit worried because never ever she had to cook dinner for so many times. And however, I help her out, of course, as well, because I'm a nice husband. And yeah, it's totally different now. And I had to adjust. So I'm working a lot with Zoom, with other platforms as well. And it's different. However, I think thanks to this COVID-19, that the entire issue of changing has accelerated a lot and helped a lot of companies to really think over their issues. Whenever we had difficulties to have change management, because people, they were successful, companies, they were successful, they said, why should we change? Well, now, definitely, everybody realizes that it's a difficult time, we have to change. And I think that's the way we have to do it. And I have been working with a lot of companies, and I see basically two main streams. One, for some companies, they are going really very in new situations where they work a lot online, where they not only have flat hierarchies, but they have really working in groups, in ad hoc groups, in project groups, no bosses, or the other way around, everybody's a boss. And that's very encouraging to see. And those companies and those teams, they are very efficient, very effective. And then I see other companies, which I had the opportunity to look into in the last few weeks and months, and they are exactly the opposite. They think they lose control because the people are not in the office and so on. And I can see now these two polars coming up, and it's very interesting to see how this will develop. I'm not sure whether you have experienced some similar situations.
Here we go. Everyone is here. It's good.
Now everyone is here.
Oh, great.
Technique is working.
Technique is working. Fantastic.
Very good.
So you can tell us a little bit about yourself, Jessika.
Well, I was trying to say earlier that I'm a Swedish entrepreneur living in Barcelona since 2001. And my main business is in the travel and events sector. So you can just imagine, today is a very important day. We are in Alerta Roja, red alert. We are making events. So I'm very much affected of these consequences of the COVID. I have also a lot of other projects in the air and companies rolling. So it's all about to reinvent yourself and to try to make the best out of this time that we have slowed down because of the consequences of what has happened the first 6 months in all the countries of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. I really can imagine. How do you cope with that the emotions that I would be really interested in yeah.
Yes, it is a very emotional year, not only for me, of course, but for everyone. And personally, I have suffered family loss. I have also found that there is a lot of pluses with this big slowdown that is happening at the same time. There is time for reflection, and there is actually time to hear your own thoughts and what is important. There is a lot of things that had caught up with me that I couldn't hear before because I was running in this pace that we were making faster and faster. And I'm one of the persons that don't want to go back to the old normal. I don't want this new some higher meaning that what if we really do something about this time, I see a lot of opportunity as well.
Yeah.
And well, regarding my business and professional topics, I mean, I have a destination management company here in Barcelona since almost 2 decades. I receive company travel from Scandinavia, and I'm niched into bigger creative events. I'm talking about 500 and up and persons. So I'm very much in the crunch. People don't travel at the moment, and we are not allowed to be more than 10 in Spain in the group. So I'm totally out of the, you can just imagine.
I mean, event.
So
a big event.
I have trained a lot of this thing to be in the present. Thankfully, I'm quite a spiritual person. I've done a spiritual journey that started a long time ago, but this year I've had a lot of time to get into more deeper reflections and meditations, and to really catch up with myself and my soul.
Yeah.
So I see, I mean, I should be really devastated at the moment, because all my business, like 99%, there is 1% hanging in the air, but I mean, 99% of this year's business has been cancelled or moved to the next year. And I think thankfully that I am a little bit into this mixed business models, that I have more than just one company and more than just one project. And I think that we shouldn't put all the eggs in the same basket, and that I'm fortunate to try to do now, that I can work with other things. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for this the travel to catch up, and I have to also mention that my target is the Nordic countries, and they are very aware of, I mean, it started already with Greta Thunberg, with the sustainable thing that they shouldn't fly as much, and sure, it's also affected my business here, because I'm working with incoming travel, and it's all about thinking how you can affect this yourself and change your situation. I think you have to be very flexible, and thankfully I am. So I'm reinventing a lot of my projects. I'm also working, I'm a certified coach, which I find a lot of need for now, that there is a lot of need for it for companies that want to have coaching, and how can we get out of this situation. And so my services can be of use in other areas, which that is fortunate for me personally, because I can wait, I can hang on a little bit more, because this year is like to survive. And then next year, when everything comes up, hopefully I'm ready to receive all these postponed groups and events that we have planned for this year. I don't know about you guys. You're also in the coaching business and consultancy, and how are you
Mentoring.
I think
experiencing?
we all in hospitality, right? In one way, we all have that connection, don't we?
Yeah. Yes, we all have that connection.
Cheers to that.
Yes, cheers to that.
But
All right, let's not
cheers to
forget.
that.
Cheers to the hospitality industry.
But the hospitality industry is like, Matthieu, you had a very cooling conversation with me before today.
Yeah.
About, because you had a couple of ideas you wanted to go with, but where are you at with those ideas right now?
With those ideas, I mean, depends which ideas, but the true fact is that, since the first day of the lockdown, I've been lucky enough to extend mentoring sessions with graduates and undergraduates from Les Roches, from Lyon, from the Summit Educational Group, through a great company called The Growth Works. based out of the UK. I don't know if James Lemon is looking at the live, but hi to you. And it's been great, to connect, with to reconnect with some graduates that I knew from the past, and great to see them, not fully on track. I'm very honest with you. A lot of those mentoring sessions were really hard to me. I'm a newbie in obviously in the mentoring world. Was really hard for me to manage because some people are not so well equipped, in terms of their current situation. Some obviously have been demoted. Some are obviously been demoted. Plus, you add on, some mental health, issues because of, the drama around them. But funny enough, one thing, that I realized is that the mentees that I had the best conversation with and are actually the ones that were out of cities. Okay, I mean, I feel terribly sorry for you, for all of you that have been, in those cities, regardless if you have a penthouse apartment or a 20 square meters, flat, it must be, really, really difficult. And I'm blessed, to be in the countryside, and I was blessed to talk with people that could, reconnect with themselves. But thanks, for escaping, to that unfortunately mass negative aspect of being in cities. I love cities, but when it comes to those difficult times, the ones that were or could escape and go to the countryside were the most insightful, I must say. Yeah. So yeah.
It's something I've seen. I mean, I've been traveling this week through big cities like Zurich, like Lucerne, etc., etc. There is kind of a psychosis in those big cities when you go into shops or whatsoever. So in this time, as you said, and I'm lucky to live in a small village in Valais, it is much better in order to cope with the situation, I have to say.
Yeah, that's
I can imagine.
Sure. That's for
but
sure.
I went home. And my parents live on the countryside, so I went home just when the lockdown in Barcelona lifted, and I had this conversation with my parents, and they were kind of devastated in their way that things are hard now. But when I started to tell the story about how it was in the cities, they couldn't relate, because it was like this thing of always having to wear the mask. Even the fact, I was walking down the street with a friend the other day. The police is passing by, like every 10th minute, there's police somewhere. And right now we just turned around and said, I don't really know what to feel anymore, because it feels like I'm being kind of checked by on the police, kind of not. I don't know anymore, because everything just feels very uncomfortable in the cities.
Yep.
I don't know how many of you or in the audience are in cities or anything like this, but for me, I can imagine how much more easy it must be to be in the countryside.
Yes, I can imagine.
Well,
But here in Spain was the issue that a lot of people that was outside, for example, Barcelona, they were not allowed to stay in their second residence out in the countryside.
Yeah, it's true.
And I don't know. Personally, I just caught the last flight from Barcelona to Copenhagen to be with my mom, who was sick, not in COVID, but she has a lung disease. And I just caught the last flight to Copenhagen, and I managed to get there. And I stayed actually in auto quarantine 2 months in Malmö, in Sweden, where I'm from, and followed it on a distance with all my friends, of course, and family here in Barcelona. And it was such a different experience to be in Malmö, because in Sweden, you all know about the strategy in Sweden that they were not really following the rest of the world. And we still don't have the results of what is the right strategy. But now it's turning out that maybe the statistics is turning. But I was the only one basically going down to the supermarket to buy groceries with a mask on, because I was protecting my mother.
Yeah.
Not to carry home anything bad. But they were looking at me like, my God, are you sick? And do you have COVID? They thought I was with, plague. So it was a very, I didn't socialize with friends. Meanwhile, I was there only like we're doing now, online. I had an aperitivo with friends because of course I have all good friends there, but because I wanted to, I mean, I had to protect my mother. She can't get COVID because then.
Yeah, I understand that.
So it was a special, very, very weird time. At the same time, it was a big plus because when did I spend 2 months with my mom? I mean, it's over 30 years ago I lived home.
Yeah, it was good.
So it was there is also another bright side to look at it, that from my personal experience, that I had very much quality time in my birth town, and things that was pluses for me.
Well, you see, when I hear Erik and when I hear Jess, and actually in a lot of talks that I have, it's exactly this going from one extreme to the other. It's going from, oh yeah, it's actually good, to, oh no, it's very bad, to inside, I know this is good, that I slow down, that I go out of the rat race, from getting external again, oh, the police is coming everywhere and something bad is happening, to knowing, okay, I have to do that, and then to hear somebody cough in the train, and then you start to panic. From this, really, this is really a roller coaster where not a lot of people are prepared for, to cope with that emotionally, and that's affecting so many parts of daily life. Yeah, it's quite a challenge for us all, I think. Huh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, very much. We have a couple of questions from the audience. Shall we turn the focus?
Great.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we're starting with well, who should we start with here? I think Lyubov. I hope I said it right. Let's start with that question. How can you move classroom trainings, especially on customer service and hospitality, into online? What are your thoughts about this? How do you see the future in training and teaching?
So I think I can answer that.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, Alex, by all means.
Being in a school, we are doing now. I mean, the new batch is coming, and we are proposing for the first year student to start by doing the training at home. And what do? We're doing little videos. Right, two things we're doing: little videos in which they can go back to show the technicity of what we do, and we do also live streaming on how to set up a table, how to make a cocktail, how to open a bottle of wine, how to for the housekeeping, how to make a bed, and there is a camera that takes the overall thing. So that is something we can show. Now, I know some students are doing the same at home. They are taking cutlery, they are setting up tables to make sure they make pictures to then send it back to see if we are doing that correctly. So that's a new way of teaching, I would say, service skills and hard skills. And as for the soft skills, whatever is academic, we do three things. Live, we still have live class in a condition with mask, with distancing, etc., etc. We've got the live stream where they can follow us if they're in the same hours, time zone. They can see us directly and then ask question. One of the students is answering the question or asking the question, pretty much like we do here. And we've got also a remote. I mean, everything that is filmed is recorded and placed on a platform we have. And on that platform, they can go watch, ask questions. And my role, of course, is to answer those questions. So the system is in place. Is it perfect? No. Okay, it's not the best because when we do live training, how to set up a table, how to cook, how to make cocktails, we can correct on the spot. However, it's already something, and students seems to accept it. So that's a kind of a good way of doing things.
Good approach.
I want to challenge you.
Yes, challenge me. I love challenges.
I throw the hat into the ring. How you say that?
Challenge accepted.
I think it's, and you're right. Huh? That's at first. So we the hybrid versions and so on. We have to go there, but there is one thing which I miss, and it's something what makes me two things. One is that the new generation that has to cope with this learning situation didn't learn the attention span to follow these things on the in longer sessions. In the classroom, they can go with their thoughts somewhere. Here, they have to be focused all the time. That's a physical challenge, what they already have. And the second challenge which I see is that we know from so many research that learning is only happening when you connect it to emotions. When you have an emotional connection to a teacher, you learn 20,000 times faster.
Exactly.
It is really hard to do that.
What is the difference between learning or any event through a screen or if you are live? There is the energy that is not there.
The emotion, the human connection.
But there is a third challenge.
However, if I could just answer the challenge of Pascal first, because I knew he would come with that. In a live class, what we do is what I do and what teachers should do, the lifespan of students is between 8 and 12 minutes. Therefore, what you have to do is to change the rhythm of the teaching every 10 minutes. And you start with some PowerPoint, and then there's some discussion, then the video, then they do an exercise, and there is a discussion, and like that. You can do pretty the same thing on video. However, the lifespan is not 8 to 12 minutes; is between 4 and 8 minutes. So every 6-7 minutes, you need to change the rhythm. Another thing
that is a challenge itself.
It is a challenge. But another thing that we do as well is to, beside the classes, we have one-on-one class. Not all teachers are doing that. I am one of them. But we have one-on-one class for someone who's got more difficulties to understand. So we go on Zoom, and it's really one-on-one, and we have more connection.
That must change a lot.
In class. It's a lot of work, a lot of dedication. Feasible, but you need to really put a lot of yourself, much more than in a live class.
Can imagine.
Well, I still have the challenge with the emotions, Alexandre. Because when I see, just to explain what I meant with that, I think Simon Sinek has a nice example with this, where he said, when you make a deal with somebody, when you make a business with somebody, and you propose your hand to shake on it. And that other person the deal is good, the contract is good, everything is fine, but he refuses to shake your hand. It gives you a bad feeling. Although everything is fine. He says, no, it's good. Doesn't shake your hand. You don't have that oxytocin come in, which makes that human connection. That gives a challenge. How do you? And that's still something where I feel I have the same. I have a talk with clients whatsoever. Then and it is not the same. It is not the same. It's really a different thing.
It is, but that's where the one-on-one chat I have with my students, we come closer to that, because you can use a lot of empathy through the video. There is no the human connection in a sense you cannot touch. I mean, to hold someone or to really, you cannot do that. However, by showing empathy to the person that you got in front, and I had that situation at the beginning in March, when one-on-one, we talk, we calm down, we breathe, we do some exercise, we talk about different things, and the connection is there, not physical. It's not as deep as the physical connection you're talking about, but there is a connection.
What did Ruedi have?
Yes, exactly. I have another challenge as well. And I think it's not only for the young generation, which is difficult to learn like that, but it's also for the middle and the older generation to give classes like that. Not everybody is on the level of Alexandre who are able to do that. And I think that's a big challenge to prepare those professors as well in order to give classes like that. And the same goes for companies. A lot of middle managers and managers are not prepared to lead virtual teams. And I think this has to be done as well. And I think there we have to help society as well in order to get prepared for that new type of business or new type of challenges.
You know, I just listened, I recorded it because I wanted to share it, but I didn't save it over to my laptop right now, because I listened to a sponsored ad on Instagram coming in saying that, you know what, there's so much better to do remote work than working together, because right now you can be much more effective, you can be more focused, you can be more disciplined, you can be more determined. And it kept going on for 45 seconds on how much better it is to be working online and remote than in person. Would you agree?
No, I
Well,
would say
online
it's
and in
just-
person.
I think
Online
it
and
is
in
about
person is different.
balance.
Sorry. I just
Sorry.
wanted to say that online working, that also implies still in connection with other people. You still can work online, but in teams. And I think that's very important, because a team is always better than an individual.
Yes.
And I think we have to stress that one out.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
I totally agree with Ruedi, and I think that we are better together. And I think it's all about balance. That you can. I think I read somewhere that we have been pushed 5 years, boom, in the future online already in progress, thanks to the lockdown. That we now can see that we can actually do work from home and all this. It's about results and the quality of the work we do. But I also do think that technically online, we can never replace the meeting in real life. The online can never replace it, but it's a fantastic tool. And if we use it right, I think we can save a lot of money, we can save a lot of time. There is a lot of meetings and conferences we can do online that we don't have to take that flight only down to south of Spain to sit for a couple of hours and talk. We can do that online. I think the first meeting, if we are ever going to have a first personal meeting in business or whatever, I think it is important. And then it's easier to continue online. So I think it will be a mix of these two with a good balance.
Definitely, but something you should not forget, the human being is one of the most adaptable individual for animal species on the planet. Okay,
Yeah.
it can adapt to everything. When I've done my MBA, that was in 2010, I was doing that online. It was one of the first things online, and people would say at the time that will never work. That will never work. People will like presential. Today, it becomes something that people do as an option.
Yeah, because we were forced into it.
But
it was a good push because I mean it
adapt.
saved us 5 years at least in
Definitely.
this.
But what Pascal says as well, and he's right, and Ruedi is right as well, at a certain moment, as a species, we need human connection. We need physical connection.
Yeah.
That's why there is a word that that bothers me on media is the social distancing. That's not social distancing. This is physical distancing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah.
And that should be made a difference.
That's why I use the word distant socializing. It's far better. Right?
Let's shift lens over to Jess' question, because I think we're coming to something that has to do with that right now. If you want to take a look at this question, you're talking about social distancing, physical distancing, and
I've been thinking a lot about stopgap employees needing a job, just any job in such a difficult market. They will potentially have a huge impact on learning and development teams in trying to find. Can't see the last thing. Motivate and retain them. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's like I think that it is. You can be very comfortable at home working. You can increase your results even, I think. But I do think that we have to at least meet once a week on a regular touch base with everyone and to feel like we are a team, or online as well. But I think we do need a human connection at least once a week.
If I can add to that, I think the situation works very well for introvert person. That they like to be on their home and they like to be in a surrounding is a bit more difficult for extrovert people. It needs to be in connection. They need to be surrounded with people. So
it's tricky in that sense. That's why I think we need to have a balance. You know, you live with two wings. You can't fly with one.
Well, it's Alexandre, good. You apply the knowledge very good. So that's where introvert people get energy from. You're right, but still, if you see, I had this morning the chance, the honor to be at a happiness. Is here in the chat. I saw her already with the Dr. Elia, who was talking about actually this happiness at work, bringing this. And that's that there is a research done. If you give people 5 days of work and 1 extra day free, and you still pay them, you have to do that in the middle day. You cannot give the Friday free because then they will party the whole weekend. Monday is also not really working, but you have to do that on the Wednesday. This is the day where it's most effective. So to have this balance, what you talk about is very important, because if we don't, it can also be that we over adapt. And that's something what you can see in nature everywhere, where you don't adapt at all to new changes, then you get extinct, or you over adapt and you go from one extreme to the other extreme. And this is where it gets. Maybe that's the feeling also, where sometimes we have this, to not adapt at all, and then to say, it will be fine. It's with the climate change, with everything that's going on. What I see is when we only do it online, that's the thing that I see, is that creativity is suffering from this. This is what I see.
Because of the energy is lacking online.
And you cannot make 1 + 1 is 3. So when you are, let's say you're with a colleague and then he says something and you're just in that flow of a talk, you know that. And then suddenly you connect it with something else, and then you say, oh yeah, and this and that, or you hear somebody talking and they say, oh, I can help you. That all gets lost. We're so focused now on only result-driven things, and that's a little thing where I think that's nice. A dog is there, then that's a challenge, really. But we have also other people that ask questions. Erik, which one do you want to put on it now?
I'm not Erik, but I'd like to put the one of Heidi Breitenmoser.
Oh yeah, from Hey.
If you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's from Nikola Tesla. And what do we think about that? Here we're going beyond physical, that's metaphysical. And honestly, that's something I've tried and I've tested. It works as well.
Yes, me too.
Some of you have tested that. You can connect with someone else through energy and through human connection, in sense not necessarily physical.
Exactly.
And I'm sure all of you have tasted that sometimes.
Yes, and what many people don't really think about is that we are energy and we have a body, which is pretty different. I mean, we have one material body and one energetic body. And to higher your vibration is to really live like a clean life, and to try to be true to yourself and live in love instead of fear. And I think we are about to we are in a big transition, a big awakening frequency level that will arise now. And sorry?
No, go ahead.
No. I wanted to say that people are talking about this thing of three-dimensional. The three-dimensional is the world we live in, and there is a lot of things that is holistic, and if we turn into ourselves and not look for external solution, we have everything inside us. And then there is another world that is called five-dimensional, and that is probably a little bit more freaky, but if you can deliver it in a sort of a normal packaging, I think it could be understood. But I think it is a progress we are going through now.
But if you see as well in another level, and I think, Pascal, you talked about that the other day, if someone is helping a person physically or whatsoever, there is a lot of hormones coming into the mind, okay, oxytocin and everything that goes into the mind and help the person to be there. but a person observing another one, helping another one's got the same chemical in the mind. So that's not only spiritual or whatsoever, that's also physical.
Yeah, but because as I said, we have a physical body and an energetic body.
I understand that, but I mean, a lot of people are connected with energy and all that kind of things. But I mean, who's got children among yourself? Right, no. Matthieu, you got some children, right? Got one. Okay, one is enough.
No, that's two.
Two. Sorry, thank you. You got two. I'm pretty sure you are connected with them, not only physically. You know when you look at them, you know that they are not well, or you know when they are very happy. You know when they are, and that's also a connection you can have without being physical.
True. Yeah. I mean, we are all, I think, some kind of emotionally, connected. But what I wanted to say is that it's a great conversation. I don't know what you guys are drinking, but it works, so carry on, I mean, like...
Just maybe...
Can I come in here? I'm thinking about our audience out there as well.
Yes.
And that was a good comment, Matthieu. And coming towards the end, I would love to kind of challenge everyone here, including the audience, and kind of starting a little bit with the audience, as in Matthieu and I, we talked. We really know right now? What do we know about what to do to create what's emerging? Pascal, we talked about this in our last call, this thing of that, okay, we need to create what is emerging right now, but what is emerging right now? What is it really that we know? So I would love to challenge everyone in the audience and here now, kind of one by one, to just say, what do we know? What is it that we really should be or could be, or as the best advice, do right now to get more clarity in what to do? I think that's the biggest question I'm experiencing in my own life and amongst others, what to do.
I think, if I can be first, I think it is about acceptance of the now. It is a acceptance that we actually don't know anything. It's like the Dalai Lama says, relax, nothing is under control. And I think we have to relax.
Okay. Matthieu.
What to do? I mean, like, not what to do. I mean, I can say what I do, and I've been, well, I think, obviously, as you mentioned before, Alexandre, I have 2 kids, so technically, I think being very close to families and kids and parents, I think, is a great way. But what to do? I mean, try to highlight me there, Erik. What do you mean by what to do? Because what to do in what? In our lives, in our working life, in what do you mean by that?
You've already counted, like, the way you approach it, whatever you take it as, like, just went with acceptance. You are referring to more like spending time with near and dear friends and family, if I understand you right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Meaningful time, I mean, times, that technically, obviously, are more like flashes, because obviously when things were normal, and we I guess, we thought we were connecting, with our friends, family, even sometimes partners, and so on, but everything was just, so fast, and now we need to adjust, that time is, and circumstances are much slower, and I guess, for a lot of people also, I guess maybe it's hard, to accept the fact that, yes, maybe it's time, to slow down a little bit, I mean, and it's not easy when you get, it's like someone who's, used to run sprints or marathon, and so on, and you ask them to lower the tempo, it's quite hard,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ruedi?
Well, I think accept the situation and be open for everything. Don't think that it's not going to work. It will work if you want to. And like our discussion before, don't think that the online teaching, online meetings, they are not the same. And so learn how to do it in order to make it better and be open for that. And I'm positive we will get there. I'm positive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
This
one.
is learning by doing.
Yeah,
By accepting.
it's really it's very much like that. It's very much like that. Pascal.
Well, I want to maybe make a little, and sorry for that, round circle to it, because I want to just add to what Heidi was adding, because actually the quote from the genius Nikola Tesla is that everything is energy, and I want to emphasize that. It's not even our physical body is energy, it's just another frequency. So actually everything is energy and everything is connected to each other, which we can prove by quantum entanglement. So everything is connected, but we lost a little bit the connection. We lost the consciousness of being connected to each other. This is why you have so many things on the planet also not going right, because we're not conscious about our connection anymore. This is why things like this, and maybe that's the big chance what we get from our home planet, however you want to call it, from our host when we stay in hospitality, that the host gives us a time to breathe out. Just to slow down a little bit, because we were really pacing it up a lot, and then to realize again that we're all really connected. Sorry?
Yes.
And you mean that prior to COVID we were too fast?
Because you see in all wisdom, all ancient wisdom, and all also quantum physics and everything, we know that everything is actually fractal organized. So as below, so as above, so below, as in the small, so the big, everything is in the same. That means also when you look at what happens is actually that the earth needs to breathe. That's why there is something happening now with our breathing system. So there we have to really get realizing, okay, we have to watch out. Otherwise, we're on the brink. And this is what you see everywhere, to just make a stop. That's like Mother Earth. That's something that I read, is sending us on our chamber and on our room to think about what we did. to reflect a little bit. And this is what this is what we have to realize again. I've never had so many conversations with so many people all around the planet. Never, ever.
Me neither.
Likewise.
Never, ever. And to realize how much I have in common with so many people in such a short time. Never, ever I would have realized this when you have asked me in January or February.
The same thing for me, yeah.
The same thing for me, and it's all connecting with the energy. It's just what you are saying, that we're all connected into one higher thing.
So, and that's all connecting to what the people are writing in the chat when I see it. Slow down, accept what it is. Accepting means trusting the process, trusting that we're all connected. And I think that's a very strong realization what we have to do. And from that we can make conclusions.
Yes, and not to look for external solutions. We have to look within ourselves. And I think that in the future we will see a lot about co-creation. I think that is one of the keys.
Yeah.
Alexandre, what do you think?
Well, I mean, a lot of things has been said, which I agree with. But the thing that we should not forget about connection with human, and human connection is very important. But what we tend to forget in this time of crisis is the connection with oneself. Okay, there's a lot of experiment that has been done that to be alone by ourselves is extremely difficult.
That is what I mean with turn within yourself, not to look for externals.
Connect within yourself and accept who you are, your dark side, your strength, your weaknesses, everything. And once you have accepted all that, honestly, life is easy. You can face life in a way that
it's basically face your fears and to turn that around and to acknowledge what is your fears. That's what makes you strong.
That's a very good bridge into what I'm talking about lately a lot. And this is, I was interviewed this morning in regards to connecting humans. And I was asked, like, so how is it going? And how is it going with connecting humans now? Do you think is there more opportunities now than it was, say, a year ago? And I said, hands down. I have been fighting for 3 years to get people to see and want to see the importance of the human connection, and that the connection is exactly what Pascal referred to. It starts with you. We got to look at ourselves, like Jess said right there. we're going to have to take a better look at ourselves. But prior to COVID, we were accustomed to and used to that. We didn't have to. Things worked out anyway. So we could just keep on going, and it worked fast, and we got a lot of money, and we had a lot of money, and things was easy. And then COVID-19 happened, and we realized that, you know what? It doesn't matter if you have a senior job title, a really fat paycheck at the end of each month, or if you have been working for 15 years in the industry.
No.
This is going to affect you. And when it does, well, how do you deal with this right now? Because it's you and nobody else is going to deal with what happens in your life.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm getting on a bit, this thing of, yeah. And I also reading all these comments, I kind of a little bit surprised to see that there's so many people that are 100% like just spot on this thing of connect to yourself, trust, relax. We have been going too fast before. So now let's do the basics with excellence in life.
Yeah, the world doesn't need to spin faster. That's for sure.
All right. Do we have any closing marks from everybody before as we have been coming to the hour here? And I would just like to everybody in the audience there, thank you everyone that's been sharing so much of your thoughts. Like Anne-Sophie, you have been really, really active. Heidi, I think she just left right now. Danielle came in, she's driving, so I hope that she's driving safe and sound. Martina, she came in as well. Jess, Collins, thank you so much. And also Matthieu and Ruedi and Jessika, thank you so much for being part of this first table. And to close it all out, I had an idea when I was preparing the table here. If you could ask now live for anything you could ask for, what is it you would like to ask? Starting with Ruedi. And try to make this as a personal ask, as in for what you're trying to achieve right now, or whatever it is you are going through. I would love to give you this moment to ask for help and to open up and connect with all these people out there that might be able to help or just be inspired by your question.
Thank you for that opportunity. What I would like to achieve is still that I would like to help others. I would like to help young generation in order to cope with that uncertainty. However, I also would like to help middle managers and professors who have to deal with that situation, because I'm in a very privileged situation at the moment, and I found some very nice collaboration with Pascal and Alexandre and other people, and I think I would like to give something back to society, because I had a fantastic life so far, and I would like to give something back to society in such a way.
Nice. So people can just reach out to you and go like, hey, Ruedi, I need help with X, Y, Z. And
sure.
People...
I'm here to help you.
Yes.
Look at this guy. Like, sure. Okay, cool. I love
maybe
it.
We can, cheers to that. Cheers to that, Ruedi, really.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
And
totally
maybe
agree.
to build the bridge, because Anne-Sophie asked the question a little bit upfront with how can you adapt? How can you be adapted in the hospitality industry? So
Yes.
when we talked about that, and I think if hospitality industry gets back to the roots, where it's about making a nice moment for other people and to help be of service, then that will come itself. There is so much research and whatever, and then you have that. And Ruedi is a perfect example for this, as he has his roots also in hospitality from Lausanne, right? That is the school where you learned it.
Long time ago, and we didn't have these parties like they did today and so on. So long time ago.
Yeah.
Where are you based now, Ruedi?
Sorry, say again?
Where are you based now?
Madrid.
Madrid. All right. Oh, Madrid. Oh, I heard. Okay, yeah. I shouldn't read the news sometimes, because there was a lot going on about Madrid in the news lately. Anyway, Matthieu, over to you. What is your ask?
Well, I mean, same thing as Ruedi. I'm not asking anything. I think, I'm quite actually in a happy place, right now. I mean, always can be improved, especially on the global scale. But same thing, regarding, as I mentioned before, all those mentoring activities, that I try, to master with brio, with people that wish to talk to me, or with any other mentors, within the group. I think, I just would like to, to ask people to be actually very vulnerable. That's what you told me, Erik, before. Not to be obviously shy when it comes, to having a mentoring session, especially when they are for free. Okay, having, obviously this honestly, desire of obviously either bringing higher the happiness, or bringing higher their obviously sadness, and so on. So that's only what I'm asking, a bit of open up, and people looking to the bright side of life, technically. So that's only what I ask.
Wonderful. And I must say, just as a reflection on this, it's like, even now, when we're inviting people to these kind of free roundtables, or when we're offering free mentoring, do you feel that people are good at asking questions and opening up to this?
No, well, I mean, questions. I mean, yes. I mean, it depends. I think it all depends how you warm up. Any individuals. I think that's what makes a good mentor to an average mentor. When you're a good mentor, technically, you are able, to as I call it, to rock the floor, within the first 5-10 minutes, and then people, after, start to ask questions, or at least, start to open up. It's people. I saw people asking questions. Obviously, as soon they feel comfortable, they ask questions. No matter what.
Okay, and everybody who's watching right now, ask your questions. They're coming in here on the comments. So ask your questions. They will be part of this chat afterwards, so we can come back to you. Jessika.
Okay.
My question. Well, I would like to ask people in general, how could they connect with themselves, and how could the companies and the whole corporate culture help all their employees with personal growth? More than the company's results, how can they make a better person of the employee that is working for them? And there, I'm like Ruedi, I would love to help with this.
Already one connection more. Yay!
Yay!
Yes.
Okay, so really, it's more, how can then the companies help their employees right now on a personal level, rather than on a making profitable
but it's also, yes, it's proved that companies with corporate culture makes 4 times the results than companies without any corporate culture. That doesn't invest in the personal growth of the employee.
Correct.
So I think that is the future too.
Okay. All right. Pascal.
Okay.
Pascal.
Well, I because I see a comment from Anne-Sophie, and apparently I misunderstood her question. So it was that she had the feeling that she was letting her clients down, and she felt horrible. Maybe something that I learned today from Dr. Elia, the happiness doctor. I learned something when a mistake happens. 3 steps: own it. So say, it was a mistake. Learn from it. And then the last one is the most important, let it go. So that's a really good one. Don't live it there. Just the last one, really learn from it and let it go. Own it, learn from it, let it go. But when I have the chance to ask, I would ask for a favor. I would ask the people for a favor we all had that movie where we saw something and you thought maybe, oh yeah, that's how life should be. Or why don't we do it, everybody, like this? The planet would be so nice if we do it. Now is the chance to do something like this.
Yeah.
Now is the chance. Pay it forward. Help 2 people without asking something back. Do that, or do whatever you want to. Now is the chance that you can do that. Small things, not the big things. Make it small, but now is the chance to do that. Pick one thing, do me a favor, pick one thing and do it and experience how good it is for yourself. That's the challenge, that's the dare.
Love the message. Thank you, Pascal.
Yeah. My turn again?
Yeah.
Two things. One thing.
This guy is always coming with more than one thing. As soon as we ask for one thing, there's like...
Two things. One thing that I've been taught by people who have taught me. Sometimes, and I've said that to Pascal, I've said that to the people who have given me something that changed my life at a certain point. When I say, how can I pay you back? How can I do something for you? And he says, don't do anything for me. Pass it on. Whatever I taught you, pass it on. And ask that person to do the same. That's one thing. The other thing, and I'm repeating that a lot, you've heard me that for the people who are here quite often, is a random act of kindness. I would like you to challenge yourself that every day, do a random act of kindness. Don't brag about it because that's not a random act of kindness. Just do something for another person. That's it. And
I'm very pro this.
So that's the thing I'm asking.
And just to add, Alexandre, because I had that experience like 10 days ago when I was visiting my mother home. So I was going to the supermarket to buy some stuff for her, and I was passing on the sidewalk. Then there was trash on the sidewalk, and I just picked it up. I didn't reflect it. I just picked it up and put it into the trash can. And the truck went by, and he put his arm out with the thumb up. Because he saw me doing this, I was not reflecting, and I saw this, and it made my whole day was my whole day was so nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So really do it. It really is fantastic.
So that's my challenge for you, everybody.
Beautiful.
And what about you, Erik?
What about you, Erik?
What about me? I would like to be very focused here on what we're doing right here, because I have been fired up since the last week when Pascal, Alexandre, and I sat down and we shifted the focus into this format. So my ask is really to everybody out there right now that have been watching this. I'm going to follow my dear professor's advice to go with 2 asks instead of just 1. See, I'm learning. I'm learning from my mentors. 1, whatever you have taken away from this, whatever that's happened in this conversation, please share that with us, with people around. Please don't hold it just to yourself. Pass it on, as you have heard already right now. And please do that, leaving a comment here, sharing this with whoever is out there, because its purpose of it is really to connect. And the second one is Ruedi, Matthieu, and Jessika volunteer their time to be part here right now. And without them coming here, this wouldn't have been as much of a table. It would have been me, Alexandre, and Pascal having that talk again. So thank you for that. And for next week, I would love to ask everyone out there, who would love to join us around the table? And let us know in the comments. Let us know in the message. That's my second ask. Would you like to join us around the table, have a glass of wine, let the conversation flow like we did right now? And as you see in the comments, I see there's a lot of positive feedback, and there's a lot of comments sharing on and saying, I needed this. I needed to hear a bunch of, say, strangers come together and connect and just share what's on their mind.
Yeah.
And I will be cooking next week. I will be cooking.
Oh, yeah, Alexandre will be cooking next week.
Oh, yeah, the cooking, man.
Taking it to the next level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Beautiful. Okay, coming towards the end. Thank you so much. We went over the hour there. Everybody was with us. But first of all, from my heart, I saw that Pascal was already doing it. Ruedi, I'm starting with you. Thank you so much. You were even here when I was prepping, shirtless and all this stuff. You were early. Thank you so much, Ruedi.
Welcome. Pleasure to be on that table all the time. Thanks for inviting me, Erik.
I hope to see you in the future as well, and let's keep in touch.
Good.
Matthieu, thank you for that early call. Thank you for that early call, Matthieu. You were the one who got back to me as soon as I put the ad up. 5 minutes later, you had a phone call to me. You're with your family. Where are you right now?
So where I am?
Yeah.
Yeah, I live very close to the beautiful city of Lyon.
Okay, but you're outside there at your house and your children inside.
Yeah, I guess my wife is trying to give them dinner right now, you know, and so on. But yes, I'm I'm in my garden, you know. I mean, I have the vineyards, you know, that I worked in, you know, just this morning, you know, to pick up the grapes, you know, and so on. So I'm in a beautiful landscape. So honestly,
look at this guy. I'm in my vineyard. I'm in my garden. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matt.
That's what countryside is about, you know. I try, you know, to send out the spirit, you know, like the outdoor, you know, country lifestyle, you know. That's the way.
Fantastic.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No, thank you, really.
Anytime.
Jessika, you were the one daring to come on, and I didn't really have as much time to brief you as Ruedi has been with us a little bit before. Matthieu has been in touch, but you came on brave and furious all the way from...
Of course, the technology was failing me in the beginning.
Beautiful. So I would just want to say thank you. Thank you for not leaving despite the tech issue in the beginning. We handled that with ease.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think so. It was a pleasure to be here. I just want to go on and on and on. But I understand there is a limit to it.
I will remove you to backstage right now, gentlemen. And Jessika, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the audience as well. Thank you, everybody. Be safe.
Be safe.
All right, gentlemen, let's close it out. Over to you.
The older president has the word. Alexandre, I mean you.
You mean me? Okay. Well, it has been a nice dinner, and I was glad to share those glass of wine and those thoughts with everybody. And honestly, that format that we are living now, I love it. Because it's a bit of informal, it's a bit that we just among friends and we're sharing a moment. And that's what the world is missing as well, sharing moments. So thank you, Erik. Thank you, Pascal. Thank you to the invitees who were there. That was a fantastic moment.
Maybe we should rename this to Connecting Humans Live Sharing Moments.
Why not?
Maybe. You got this idea. That's a good one.
Good to share it.
I feel the audience is still with us. So what do you think? Should we change it to Connecting Humans Live Sharing Moments or keep it as it is? Let us know in the comments. Thank you. Okay, I know, but Alexandre, are you still on that field trip or not?
Yes. Actually, I've got dinner in about 7 minutes.
Okay. Because Pascal, over to you.
Yeah, I will make it, and it was exactly as I hoped that it would be. We got lost in the conversation. Perfect.
Yeah.
Really nice. I hope that a lot of people join. And thank to the audience that was not live in here. You were really, really engaged. It's we cannot be more grateful that gives us also a good feeling. Thank you for this.
The audience, I mean, you have been very active. I like it. I see that it has been popping that so much. So there was a lot to do. And from my side, I must say, you just summarized everything that I was probably wanted to say. So I'm just going to be quiet, say thank you. You have summarized it very, very well, gentlemen. We're coming back on Thursday next week with another table. And as I said, anybody who would like to be part, let us know. But until then, from Barcelona, from where are you, Alexandre?
I am in Lausanne.
Lausanne.
Switzerland.
And Pascal?
Back in Tilburg, Netherlands.
Tilburg, the metropolitan city, Tilburg. Over and out. Thank you so much, everybody. We see you next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. Bye.